Told by Mark Reynolds, age 42. My name's Mark Reynolds. I'm 42 years old, and I've been driving long haul since I was 19. I've driven through every state except Hawaii, hauled everything from frozen meat to military equipment, and I used to believe I'd seen everything the road could throw at a man. That belief ended one winter night in eastern Wyoming. I was running a solo load from Spokane to Omaha, dry freight, nothing special, the kind of job you do on autopilot. It was January, cold enough that your breath fogs the inside of the cab, even with the heater running. The highway was empty, and that way only the Midwest can be at night. Long black stretches of nothing, just reflective markers and snow piled up like pale walls on either side of the road. Around midnight, I passed an old way station that had been closed for years. I remember it because the building looked wrong, too dark. No moon, no stars, just this black shape squatting beside the road. As I rolled past, my CB crackled. That alone made my stomach tighten. Nobody uses CBs much anymore. At first, it was just static. Then a voice came through. Calm, too calm. "You shouldn't be out here this late." I grabbed the mic and asked who it was. No answer, just breathing, slow, like the mic was pressed against someone's mouth. I told myself it was a prank or interference. I turned the radio off. 10 minutes later, my fuel gauge dipped. Not dropped, dipped, like something tugged it down. That shouldn't happen. I'd filled up less than an hour before. I pulled over onto the shoulder, hazards blinking, snow crunching under my boots when I stepped out. That's when I noticed the footprints. They weren't mine. They came out of the ditch, circled my trailer, then stopped at the passenger door. I hadn't seen anyone. The road was dead silent. No wind, no engines, just that awful quiet that presses against your ears. I climbed back into the cab and locked the doors, heart pounding like I'd just run a mile. I checked my mirrors. Someone was sitting in the jump seat behind me. I swear on my life, I never heard the door open. He looked wrong, too tall for the space. His knees were almost up to his chest. He wore a dirty, reflective vest, the kind DOT guys use, but it was torn and stained dark. His face, I still don't like thinking about it. Pale, sunken, eyes reflecting my dash lights like an animal's. He didn't speak. He just stared at the road ahead like he belonged there. I couldn't move. I couldn't scream. My hands shook so bad they rattled the steering wheel. Finally, I whispered, "How did you get in here?" He turned his head slowly toward me, his smile stretched too wide. "You picked me up back at the way station." I hadn't. I knew I hadn't. The CB crackled again, same voice as before. "Don't stop again." The man in my cab leaned forward, close enough that I could smell him, cold metal and rot. "You already did." I slammed the accelerator, the tires screaming against ice. The man dissolved, not faded, not vanished. He collapsed inward like smoke sucked into a vacuum, leaving frost on the seat. I didn't stop again until Omaha. When daylight came, there were handprints frozen into the inside of my passenger window. I quit driving that route. I still drive, but I never turn my CB back on.
Told by Luis Moreno, age 36. My name's Luis Moreno. I'm 36 years old now, and I've been driving trucks for most of my adult life. When this happened, I was 31, 5 years into long haul, still young enough to think I had the road figured out. I liked night driving back then. Less traffic, less noise, less people. It felt cleaner, like the world belonged to you and your headlights. I don't feel that way anymore. That night, I was hauling produce north out of California, A refrigerated trailer full of boxed fruits and vegetables. Paperwork clean, seals intact, nothing unusual. Bakersfield was already far behind me, the kind of night where the sky looks empty and the road stretches so straight it messes with your head. The reefer unit hummed steady, that constant mechanical breathing you learn to sleep to. Around 2 in the morning, I noticed headlights in my mirror. At first, it didn't register as anything wrong. Cars come and go. But after a while, I realized they weren't going anywhere. They stayed back there, same distance, same lane, mile after mile. Not riding my bumper, not passing, just there. I sped up a little. They sped up. I slowed down. They slowed down. That's when the first prickle of unease crawled up my neck. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe another truck pacing me. Maybe someone tired, zoning out. But the lights were wrong. Too low for a semi, too wide apart for a bike. Just a regular car sitting behind 40,000 pounds of steel at 2 in the morning, refusing to pass. I keyed my CB, mostly to hear another human voice. "Southbound behind me, you need something?" Static. Then a click, like someone pressing the mic button and releasing it without speaking. I waited. Nothing else came through. That's when the smell started.
At first, it was faint, almost easy to dismiss. A sweet, rotten edge underneath the clean, cold air of the cab. I figured maybe something spilled in the trailer. Produce goes bad sometimes. But it got stronger fast. Thick, wet, like overripe fruit left too long in the sun. I checked my gauges. Reefer temp was perfect. No alarms, everything normal. The smell didn't belong. I cracked the window an inch, but it followed me. It wasn't coming from outside. It was in the cab. Then I heard fabric move behind me. Just a soft sound, the sleeper curtain shifting, like something brushing against it. I froze with both hands on the wheel. "Hello?" I said, trying to keep my voice steady. Something shifted again, slow, heavy. The mattress creaked like weight settling onto it. I didn't turn around. I couldn't. My chest felt tight, like my lungs forgot what they were supposed to do. I told myself I was tired, hallucinating. Long nights mess with your head. The headlights were still there. I took the next rest area, needing lights, people, anything solid. I pulled in and parked. The car followed me, rolled in quiet, and parked 2 spaces down. Engine off, headlights off. I locked my doors and sat there, watching. 10 minutes passed. The smell kept getting worse. Not fruiting anymore. Something underneath it. Something meaty. Wrong. Finally, the car door opened. A man stepped out into the sodium lights. He moved strangely, like one leg didn't bend right. He wore dark clothes, nothing reflective, nothing that made sense for being out there. He limped toward my truck, dragging one foot just enough to scrape. He knocked once on my door, not hard, polite. I cracked the window an inch. "Your load's spoiling," he said, voice calm, almost friendly. I told him he needed to leave, that I'd already called it in. I hadn't, but I needed him gone. He smiled, not wide, not aggressive, just knowing. "You don't smell it?"
I did. God, I did. It was overwhelming now, making my eyes water. Before I could say anything else, he turned and walked toward my trailer. I shouted for him to stop. My voice sounded thin, useless in the open air. He didn't even look back. He broke the seal. That snap echoed louder than it should have. When he pulled the reefer door open, the smell hit like a physical thing. Hot and cold at the same time, sweet rot mixed with blood and decay. Flies poured out in a black cloud, crawling over the lights, the door, the ground. What was inside wasn't produce. It was bodies. Animals, stacked wrong, twisted at impossible angles. Deer with their legs bent backward. Dogs bloated and split. Cows crammed in sideways like they'd been shoved in by something that didn't care about bones. Their eyes were open, all of them, glossy and staring. Some of them were fresh, some of them weren't. The man turned to look at me, his face lit by my headlights. His eyes reflected white, like a cat's. "Delivery's late," he said softly. I don't remember climbing back into the cab. I just remember the truck moving, tires screaming as I tore out of the rest area. In the mirror, the car followed me again, steady and patient, like it knew exactly where I was going. The smell stayed with me the entire drive. No matter how fast I went, it didn't fade. When the sun finally came up, the car was gone. Just gone. No exit, no turnoff. 1 second it was there, the next it wasn't. I pulled into the yard shaking, barely able to stand. When they opened the trailer, it was empty, clean, cold, no flies, no blood, no smell. My dispatcher swore the load had been delivered early, signed for, no issues. I didn't argue. I couldn't. I quit produce hauling after that. Sometimes, late at night, with the windows closed and the cab clean, I still smell it. And I know something followed me farther than I want to admit.
Told by Evelyn Carter, age 51. My name is Evelyn Carter. I'm 51 years old, and I've been driving trucks since before GPS, before electronic logs, before anyone thought a woman couldn't handle long haul. I've driven through blizzards, hurricanes, and places so empty you feel like the world forgot about them. I don't scare easily, but I've learned that roads remember things, and if you spend enough nights out there, sometimes they decide to remind you. This happened in rural Mississippi years back. I was hauling industrial machinery on a tight deadline, the kind of load that doesn't forgive mistakes. Heavy, chained down, no room for shortcuts. My route took me off the main highways and onto state roads, then onto county roads. The GPS lost signal long before midnight. Cell service dropped to nothing. Just me, the engine, and the dark. I missed a turn. I knew it the second the pavement changed. The road narrowed, the lines faded, and the trees leaned in closer, branches scraping along my trailer like fingernails being dragged across metal. Spanish moss hung low, swaying in my headlights, making the shadows move in ways that didn't feel natural. The air felt heavy, thick, like breathing through wet cloth. I slowed down, looking for somewhere to turn around, but the road kept twisting deeper into the woods. That's when I saw the bus. It was parked sideways across the road, blocking it completely. An old yellow school bus, paint peeling, windows fogged, tires half sunken into the dirt like it had been sitting there for years. No lights, no engine noise, just sitting there, wrong in a way I can't fully explain. I stopped a good distance back. I sat there for a moment, listening. No insects, no frogs, no night sounds at all, just my engine idling. I grabbed my flashlight and stepped out. The air outside was colder than it should have been, dead still. My boots sounded too loud on the pavement. I called out, my voice carrying farther than it should have.
"Hello? You folks okay?" No answer. As I got closer, the bus door creaked open on its own. The sound made my stomach tighten. Inside were children. They filled every seat, sitting perfectly still. Boys and girls, different ages, all facing forward. Their faces were pale, eyes dark and fixed on me. None of them blinked. None of them whispered. None of them moved. It wasn't just quiet. It was wrong quiet.
At the front of the bus stood a woman. She wore an old-fashioned driver's uniform, the kind you don't see anymore. Her hair was pulled back tight, her face tired in a way that felt permanent. "We broke down," she said softly, like she didn't want to scare the kids. "Can you take them the rest of the way?" My heart was beating hard enough that I felt it in my throat. Something about her voice didn't echo right, like the sound was being swallowed before it reached me. "Where are you headed?" I asked. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "Home." I looked at the children again. One of them had muddy water stains up to his knees. Another's backpack was soaked and sagging. A little girl in the front row had leaves tangled in her hair, like she'd been pulled from a ditch. I stepped back. "I'm sorry," I said. "I can't. I've got a heavy load. I can call someone for you." The woman's smile faded. Behind her, the children began to cry. All at once, no sound came out, just faces twisting, mouths opening, tears streaming down their cheeks in perfect silence. Their shoulders shook, but the woods stayed dead quiet. The woman turned to face me fully. "They never made it home," she said. The bus lights flickered on, casting harsh yellow shadows that bent the trees and stretched the road into something unrecognizable. Fog rolled in thick and fast, swallowing everything beyond a few feet. I ran. I don't remember turning my back. I just remember my lungs burning as I sprinted to my truck. I slammed the door, locked it, and threw it into gear. The fog pressed against my windshield so thick I couldn't see the hood. As I drove, shapes appeared in the fog. Children standing at the roadside, watching, waiting. Their faces pale in my headlights, mouths open like they were still crying without sound. The bus horn blasted behind me, long, hollow, mournful. I drove blind until my hands went numb on the wheel. When dawn finally came, the fog lifted like it had never been there. I was parked on the shoulder of a paved road, my truck angled crooked like I'd stopped suddenly. Across from me was a small memorial. A rusted sign told the story. A school bus, 1978, washed off a flooded bridge during a storm. No survivors. I sat there a long time. I don't take county roads at night anymore. I don't stop for stranded vehicles where the woods are too quiet. Some passengers are still waiting for a ride home, and some roads don't forget.